What is up? And I'm Randy, and welcome to another deck profile. In this deck profile, we're going to be illustrating the awesome Mayakashi, deck profile that came out in the Hidden Summoners set. I like the Mayakashi because they're a cool little twist on zombies as a whole and as a type. They're pretty cool. The artwork is absolutely awesome. I love the artwork on almost all the Mayakashi monsters. But let's just get right into the deck profile here. Let's fix up the camera a little bit. Now first, we're going to start off with the 3 Hajun, the Winged Mayakashi. Now this guy is great because every time he is summoned, you can special summon a Mayakashi monster right from the deck, except for him. And he, obviously it's going to be a once per turn, and it's great. So basically when he hits the field, it's an instant Mayakashi from the deck to the field. So he gets your plays going. He's definitely someone you want to see in your opening hand. Now, I'm going to say this now. All Mayakashis do have the effect that, say you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck besides Mayakashi monsters. So Mayakashis limit themselves to their own archetype, which is fine because a lot of their, say extra deck monsters are great. So 3 Hajun to get things going. Next, we are rocking 2 Daki, the Graceful Mayakashi. Now, she's good because, when a Mayakashi monster is special from the, to the field, or the extra, from the extra deck, while she's in the graveyard, she can special summon herself right back out. So she's a way to keep your plays going to, synchro higher up from your, synchro monsters. She's basically a way to climb the synchro ladder, pretty much. So she is really good for that, but only a 2 because her effect doesn't come in handy that often, but she's still great to have. Of course, we're rocking 2 Safu, the Wheeled Mayakashi. Now, he's pretty cool, because when he's summoned, you can target one, Mayakashi monster in your graveyard, except for him, and special summon in defense, and its effects are negated. But it's still another body on board you can get with him. It's another way to flood the field to get your materials you need for your synchro plays, and your synchro plays going. Next, we have the one-off Mayakashis. We are running 1 Tusanku, the Poisonous Mayakashi, and 1 Yasha, the Skeletal Mayakashi. Now, they're only a one-off because their effects don't come in handy as much. I mean, this you can only control 1, and if a Mayakashi monster in position, except for him, is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, while he's in the graveyard, you can bring him right back, so it's a situational effect. And, Yasha, I thought about maybe cutting him completely, but, so you can discard another Mayakashi monster and special summon this card right from your hand, so it's another special summon you can get right on board, which is pretty cool. I mean, they're really cool in certain situations, but it's all situational. Plus, only 1 out because they are searchable as well. Next, we're going to go into, the zombie support. 2 Gozuki and 2 Mizuki. I mean, if you want, you can rock 3 Mizuki and 1 Gozuki, but I just like having 2 because I think the 2 of each combo off each other really well. I mean, I do like Gozuki more than Mizuki sometimes. It depends on the situation, but definitely these 2 cards definitely in the deck to speed up your zombie engine. And of course, your 2 Unizombie. Every zombie engine, you need this. It's great. And then also, just throw in a Zombie Master. I mean, Zombie Master is another, great generic zombie support card. It's amazing. Then, we're also running a Shiranui engine as well, just to get more of the plays going. I mean, we have 2 Solitaire, 1 Spectral Sword, and 1 Spirit Master. These are great, and plus they make amazing gold sarcophagus targets as well. So it's just another way to tune up, get your plays going, get monsters on boards, get your big Mayakashi monsters out from your extra deck. Now we're going on your spells. We're rocking 3 Mayakashi Return. This card is great. Basically, you can take 1 Mayakashi Mard from your deck, except for this card, and add it to your hands. Well, add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So basically, it's your search effect. So basically, you either search it to your hand or dump it into your graveyard to get plays going. So 3 Mayakashi Return, definitely. 2 Book of Life, because it's a monster reborn for zombies, and it's a great way to banish, cards in your opponent's graveyard that might come back for, be a problem later for the deck. But it's just another way to get another extra special summon on board. Monster Reborn, of course. Foolish Burial to dump off the Mayakashis. Soul Charge, because it's game charge. It's an amazing card. Next, we are rocking 2 Gold Sarcophagus. This is basically for your Shiranui part of the engine, just to ditch out your Shiranuis, get their effects going. Next, of course, because it's kind of a combo-based deck, 2 Call by the Grave. If you want, you can rock 3, but 2 is pretty good for this deck. It's nice. And for some more one-offs, 1 Drag Down to the Grave, 1 1-for-1, one barrel from a different dimension because we are doing the Shiranui and we do have a gold sarcophagus. So it's a good way to basically return your banished monsters back to your graveyard. Then, of course, the one call of the Mummy, because more special summons are never a bad thing. Now we're going to go to your traps. I mean, I'm rocking 2 Mayakashi Metamorphosis. This is pretty much it. Basically, you can discard a card, target one of your Mayakashi monsters in the banish or your graveyard and special summon it. So it's kind of like a Call to Haunted. Then your opponent cannot target with the card effects too, so it basically gives it a immunity as well. Then it has the limitation where you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck besides Mayakashi monsters. But that is it for the main deck. We're going to the extra deck now. We have 2 Yuna Ona, the Ice Mayakashi. This is your Link Mayakashi monster. She is awesome. Like, that art is great. Let me focus in here. There we go. And it's really cool. She's really good at basically, say, Link for the archetype. It's why this card points to a synchro monster. Your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. And then it's the if synchro monster in your position is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect. While this card's in the field, you can target one face-up monster in the field. Its attack becomes half its current attack. So basically, if one of your synchro monsters hit the dust, basically this is a way to half an opponent's monster to get like over a big beater or also their big boss monster. But it's just also a way to extra, open more zones up for your, extra Mayakashi monsters as well. 1 Vampire Sucker if you do not want to go into the Mayakashi part of the engine. I mean, if you don't open really with a good Mayakashi engine, there is always a backup zombie plan for this deck. So 1 Vampire Sucker to round out your links. Now all your Mayakashi synchros. We are rocking 1 I can't even pronounce that probably, but Garsakudo Kordo, the Skeletal Mayakashi. This is your big boss monster for the deck. So you want 1 of him. I mean, if you want, you can have 2, but I kind of kept them down at 1 because I really don't go into much. See, this guy I normally go into the most. It is Yoko, the Graceful Mayakashi. I'd run 2 of him in the extra. Then we have 1 Winged Mayakashi and 2 of the Poisonous Mayakashi synchros. And then we have 1 of the Wheeled Mayakashi synchro. This is the synchro lineup for the deck. And this deck is extremely budget really too. I mean, if you're like a returning player or a new player and you want to and you're a zombie fan of the game, this is really a good budget deck to go into. But that is the Mayakashi roundup for the synchros. And for the Shiranuis, because sometimes we don't want to go in your Mayakashis that much, Shiranui Saga and Samari Saga as well. Basically around the extra deck for the Shiranui deck. But that has been it. I mean, extra deck, I always say it's up to personal preference, it's up to personal playstyle, and it's also up to what the meta demands for this day. I mean, basically, for your extra deck, you want to rock anything that counteracts the meta. The hand traps, infinite permanences, if you can afford those. Basically, anything that can counteract the bigger, meta decks you will see at your locals or regionals or wherever you play at. But this has been my Mayakashi deck profile. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment down below, and say what other type of decks you want to see, what other type of content you would like to see. And I hope you guys have an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. And Happy New Year. Bye-bye.